December 1836 messenger and advocate Klaus Hansen, an LDS scholar, stated, "The progressive aspect of Joseph's theology, as well as its cosmology, while in a general way compatible with antebellum thought, bears some remarkable resemblances to Thomas Dick's philosophy of a future state." Hansen continues, "Some very striking parallels to Smith's theology suggests that the similarities between the two may be more than coincidental. Dick's lengthy book, an ambitious treatise on astronomy and metaphysics, proposed the idea that matter is eternal and indestructible, and rejected the notion of a creation ex nihilo. Much of the book dealt with the infinity of the universe, made up of innumerable stars spread out over immeasurable distances. Dick speculated that many of these stars were peopled by various orders of intelligences, and that these intelligences were progressive beings in various stages of evolution toward perfection. In the Book of Abraham, part of which consists of a treatise on astronomy and cosmology, eternal beings of various orders and stages of development likewise populate numerous stars. They too are called intelligences. Dick speculated that the systems of the universe revolve around a common center, the throne of God. In the Book of Abraham, one star named Kolob was nearest unto the throne of God. Other stars in ever diminishing order were placed in increasing distances from this center. End quote. Mormonism and the American Experience, pages 79 through 80, 110. Item 9. Elder Jeffrey R. Holland was directly asked about the papyri not matching the Book of Abraham in a March 2012 BBC interview. Sweeney, quote, "Mr. Smith got this papyri and he translated them, and subsequently, as the Egyptologists cracked the code, something completely different." End quote. Holland, quote, interrupts, All I'm saying is that what got translated into the Word of God. The vehicle for that I do not understand and don't claim to know, and know no Egyptian." End quote. Is, quote, "I don't know and I don't understand it, but it's the Word of God," end quote, really the best answer that a prophet, seer, and revelator can come up with to such a profound problem and stumbling block that is driving many members out of the church? The following are respected Egyptian scholars / Egyptologists' statements regarding Joseph Smith and the Book of Abraham. Quote, "These 3 facsimiles of Egyptian documents in the Pearl of Great Price depict the most common objects in the mortuary religion of Egypt. Joseph Smith's interpretations of them as part of a unique revelation through Abraham, therefore, very clearly demonstrates that he was totally unacquainted with the significance of these documents and absolutely ignorant to the simplest facts of Egyptian writing and civilization." End quote. Dr. James H. Breasted, University of Chicago, Joseph Smith, Jr., as a translator, page 26 through 27. Quote, "It may be safely said that there is not one single word that is true in these explanations." End quote. Dr. W. M. Flinders Petrie, London University, Joseph Smith, Jr., as a translator, page 24. Quote, "It is difficult to deal seriously with Joseph Smith's imprudent fraud. Smith has turned the goddess Isis in facsimile number 3 into a king and Osiris into Abraham." End quote. Dr. A. H. Sayce, Oxford Professor of Egyptology, Joseph Smith, Jr., as a translator, page 23. In addition to the above world-renowned and respected University of Chicago Professor of Egyptology, Dr. Robert Rittner provided a detailed response and rebuttal to the LDS Church's translation and historicity of the Book of Abraham. Essay that is sobering and devastating. Dr. Rittner's rebuttal to the Church's essay can be read here. The following video offers a thorough, complete, and unbiased overview of the Book of Abraham issues, as well as the apologetic response to them. There's a link in the document you can click to view the video. cesletter.org/papyri. An online contributor created an essay to understand document, very clearly outlining the Book of Abraham issues. Contrary to what some Mormon apologists claim or imply, a person does not have to be an Egyptologist or a scholar with a PhD to clearly understand the Book of Abraham problems and challenges to Joseph Smith's claims of being a translator. Of all the issues, the Book of Abraham is the issue that has both fascinated and disturbed me the most. It is the issue that I've spent the most time researching because it offers a real insight into Joseph's modus operandi, as well as Joseph's claim of being a translator. It is the smoking gun that has completely obliterated my testimony of Joseph Smith and his claims. Polygamy and polyandry. Concerns and questions. Quote, so the question of polyandry. Polygamy is when a man has multiple wives. Polyandry is when a man marries another man's wife. Joseph did both. End quote. Elder Marlin K. Jensen, LDS Church historian, the Swedish Rescue Fireside audio. One of the things that also truly disturbed me in my research was discovering the real origins of polygamy and how Joseph Smith really practiced it. Joseph Smith was married to at least 34 women, as now verified in the Church's 2014 polygamy essays. Polyandry, of those 34 women, 11 of them were married women of other living men, among them being Apostle Orson Hyde, who was sent on his mission to dedicate Palestine when Joseph secretly married his wife, Miranda Hyde. Church historian Elder Marlin K. Jensen and unofficial apologists like Fair Mormon do not dispute the polyandry. Update. The Church admits the polyandry in its October 2014 plural marriage in Kirkland and Nauvoo essay. The Church and apologists now attempt to justify these polyandrous marriages by theorizing that they probably didn't include sexual relations and thus were eternal or dynastic sealings only. How is not having sex with a living man's wife on earth only to take her away from him in the eternities to be one of your Joseph 40 wives any better or any less immoral? During the summer of 1841, Joseph Smith tested Helen Mar Kimball's father, Apostle Heber C. Kimball, by asking Heber to give his wife, Villette, Helen's mother, to Joseph. Quote, shortly after Heber's return from England, he was introduced to the doctrine of plural marriage directly through a startling test, a sacrifice that shook his very being and challenged his faith to the ultimate. He had already sacrificed homes, possessions, friends, relatives, all worldly rewards, peace and tranquility for the restoration